Professor Ashraf, Professor Mina, members of the faculty, students, parents of students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. As you just heard from Talat Sahib, I had the pleasure of our working together for the 3 years that he was Vice Chancellor of Kashmir University. And as he has mentioned, he started with a number of new ideas, innovations, and it was indeed a very satisfying experience that the university started moving forwards. The university and the student community, the faculty, they started looking forward to new things, working on new research projects, inviting eminent persons to come and deliver talks, participation in national conferences, winning more awards and fellowships. So all in all, a competitive environment was generated. And much before Professor Talat Ahmed finished his first tenure, I had announced his continuation for a second tenure. But then he very cleverly left me and came here. ये छुपके से यहाँ आ गए, पर अब फायदा ये है जैसे इन्होंने अभी कहा, by coming here to a large central university, historical central university, I now look forward to Professor Talat Ahmed doing more things for our universities, particularly our Kashmir boys and girls who have passed through a difficult time. He's already mentioned that a particular course in the Institute of Kashmir Studies, he has already agreed to a certain collaboration. बच्चे यहाँ आएंगे सर्दियों में, गर्मियों में वहाँ पढ़ेंगे, and under the choice-based credit system they will get credits. And hopefully in the times to come, I hope that under some of the departments of this university, some students will also come and study in the Kashmir University. वो दिन दूर नहीं होना चाहिए कि यहाँ के बच्चे भी No, I am indeed very happy and feel very privileged that I have been invited to be here with you on the Founders' Day, which is annual day. A few minutes ago, when I was in the Vice Chancellor's office room, I was recalling when I was a student in Lahore in northern Pakistan, we used to hear a great deal about Jamia. अब ये तरीक़ की बात नहीं है कि कोई बात पढ़ के मैं कहीं से कहूँ आपको. We had tall leaders from the old United Punjab, Dr. Iqbal, Saifuddin Kichlu, who were deeply, neck deep involved in Jamia. Then we had great people like Maulana Sahib, who along with Gandhiji, years ago, they decided to revolt against the British education system. And they decided in Aligarh, in a meeting in Aligarh, that we will have our own indigenous system of education. While Aligarh University was very much there, the Oxford of India at that time, the Muslim Oxford, some people used to say. And then there was no particular need at that time to revolt, to rebel. But still, Maulana Sahib and Gandhiji, together to begin with, and then many other great leaders joined us. We started at Jamia Millia Islamia, to have a national university called Jamia Millia Islamia. It was to be imbued, besides the predominance of Gandhian thought and values, teachings, with the secularism, with nationalism, with the Indian syncretic tradition, which is a very notable fact that Jamia's foundations in 1920, and yesterday this university was 95 years old. And I apologize that I could not have come yesterday as invited because of some reasons. Probably after 5 years, this university will be 100 years old. So it's a great university with great foundations, great idealism, great vision. And then there was a time when the politics of our country was changing. Certain traditions founded in secularism and pluralism, in communal harmony, in brotherhood, they started getting a little shaken, a little disturbed. But Gandhiji stuck on, Maulana Sahib stuck on. There was no money in this university. And then you had a great man, the first chancellor, Hakim Sahib. He gave entire wealth to run this university. Every pie that he had, he said nothing doing. Jamia will run. Gandhiji said, very historic, that I will go with a begging bowl around the world. मैं पैसा लेके आऊँगा जहाँ से भी लाऊँगा. तो खैर और भी लोग थे जो शामिल हुए इस काम में. But the main thing is that Jamia has gone through a great period of nationalism. It is rooted in the struggle for Indian independence. The students of Jamia, the teachers of Jamia, in the great Bordeloi revolution, they got arrested, they got imprisoned, British jails, they got harassed, they got convicted and so on. But this struggle went on. Jamia shifted to Delhi over a course of time, Dean University, Central University, and you have today 17,000 students studying here. So let me utilize this occasion on this very happy day to congratulate the Vice Chancellor, the faculty, the students for celebrating their 95th birthday. I would, since we are talking of the roots of Jamia, roots of nationalism, struggle for nationalism, how educational institutions under Maulana Sahib, Gandhiji's guidance and vision, and a man like Dr. Zakir Hussain, 22 साल यहाँ Vice Chancellor रहे, 22 years, he gave his entire life to this institution. So there is a connection, a nexus between our traditional value systems, our ethical systems, our socio-religious, our communal harmony foundations, our brotherhood are also rooted in Jamia. And therefore I would say that on the annual day, on the foundation day, we need to revive these memories, we need to rejuvenate these thoughts, because the world is splitting apart with all kinds of different ideologies. Now I would just deviate for a few minutes and come to 47. When the country attained freedom, we were partitioned, unfortunately, as the politics of the day went. We could not remain together, and we became two countries. So people like me and many other millions of families, we traveled this side, and lakhs of Muslim families, they traveled to the new areas which became Pakistan. At that time our population was 31-32 crores. No money in the treasury, the British left a depleted treasury, no food grains, administrative system fractured. The Muslim officers and officials went to Pakistan. The Britishers, the Anglo-Indians, the Christians, many of them left. We didn't have all India services. All India services came back later. But yet, the challenges were taken on. On the food grain side, we suffered rationing for many years. All the food grains came under PL 480 from the United States. In fact, if the ships didn't arrive in time, there was no food. And what it was said in those days, from ship to mouth, the ship arrived, the food was in the mouth, otherwise there was no food grains. But then our great leaders of that time, Patel Sahib, Acharya, Maulana Sahib, Panditji, all these great people, they decided to have a planned economy. Planning Commission, National Development Council, we will have state public sector, central public sector units. Agriculture was given a fillip, irrigation systems, first dams in the country, hybrid seeds, fertilizers, led to the Great Green Revolution. For a country of our size, of democratic background, for a country of our size of population, we are perhaps the only country in the world which has achieved self-sufficiency and more in food. It's a great achievement. In the arena of industry, we had no infrastructure, no steel, no cement. So all these things were started under the public sector. To develop infrastructure, physical infrastructure, roads, highways, bridges, railways, airlines, shipping ports, shipping lines, all the buildings were made. And in the arena of education, which I will talk a little more in a few minutes, great vision of the first Prime Minister and his colleagues. There were a couple of hundred colleges and only 20 odd universities when we attained freedom. Today we have 40,000 colleges and over 700 universities. There were no more than about 4 lakh students enrolled in higher education. Today we have 3 crore students enrolled in higher education. I'm not talking of the total student population. So the vision of our founding fathers, our first generation leaders, was to promote science and technology. They set up the Council of Scientific Industrial Research, a network, country-wide network of science and technology laboratories, stations, agriculture science research, agriculture universities, other universities, science, humanity, and visionary, forward-looking leadership, Atomic Energy Commission, Space Commission, Defense Science Research. All these were set up in the early years of our independence. And the fruits that we are enjoying today, the foundations of these fruits were laid years ago by our first generation of political leaders. We also face wars, one with China, four with Pakistan, our neighbor. Very sad episodes, unnecessary wars, but yet these wars were forced upon us. So the country went through difficult times on several occasions. I now come back to a little focus on higher education. Vice Chancellor spoke about certain new things which are being done here.